Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Duerta here, and welcome to the commentary on the recent FA special Great Spirit of Adventure. Joining me today is former UDWF1 and the executive producer of Double L Productions, and my good friend Sam Lloyd.
Hello.
Now, this is the... Well, I'm just going to call it the multiverse crossover with Jodie Whittaker.
Yes. Yeah. If you don't know, I'm going to be writing the entirety of this third series for Matt, and this is sort of essentially the prequel to that, which sort of tides over the end of Series 2 and the beginning of Series 3, and I wanted this to wrap up any kind of loose ends that are currently still around, which is why we've kind of picked up directly from the end of Series 2 with the Doctor's regeneration, and I wanted to also do all of the major multiverse connections here, so then we could go straight into this kind of a more standalone Series 3. And as you see, the Doctor has just finished regenerating, except his face has not changed, and he wants to know why, but he's escaped the space station just as Romana's blown it up.
Yeah.
And now we're back on what was the Series 2 TARDIS, but has now fallen away and revealed that the Series 1 TARDIS was behind it all along, which kind of explains why he has that TARDIS in
he has that TARDIS in a matter of time, Now, some of you, I guess a lot of you, are probably wondering, where did this idea come from? I mean, very, very early on. I mean, literally just 2 days after they announced that Jodie Whittaker was the Doctor. And, when they released the promo pictures of her in the hooded outfit and the poster of her in her actual outfit, I pretty much had this sort of fun idea just to do a sort of fun adventure with basically my Doctor and Jodie's Doctor, even though at the time when we wrote this episode we had no idea what this Doctor was going to be.
Was a bit of a... It was... I mean, writing the script, we had not seen any of Jodie at all apart from the Christmas special. Producing it, we'd seen all sorts, the TARDIS and everything.
Yeah.
But there was one thing that particularly grabbed me about Matt's pitch of this episode, which made me really want to write it, and that was that. So I was reading through the script of the Series 2 finale, and I was asking him, "So is your Doctor going to regenerate?" And you said, "No, this isn't the last episode for my Doctor, but this is the last episode of my Doctor being a Time Lord," and that made me think, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And suddenly the story just started appearing in my head. And then you mentioned, of course, wanted to do an episode with Jodie. And then I figured with Jodie's kind of... with like after Peter Capaldi regenerated into Jodie Whittaker, of course, he had a lot of doubts about regenerating.
Yeah.
And now this Doctor's regenerated, but it's gone wrong. Sort of one Doctor regenerated and it went wrong. One Doctor didn't want to regenerate and it went right. And... this is a sort of, I feel they've got a lot to learn from each other, and the story all kind of fit together, basically.
Yeah. Now, the original story idea I wanted to go for, because originally I wanted it to be a Christmas special, and this was way before Jodie was announced as the Doctor, because I didn't want to do a crossover episode of the Doctor. I originally wanted it to be a sort of story where the Doctor is kind of living a human life, and but he's getting like little hints that he's still the Doctor. I mean, he knows he is the Doctor. He is human, but he knows he is the Doctor, and he does not want to go back to do the whole ride again.
Yeah.
And so he gets like little hints from visions of his life, like his friends, or like incarnations of his previous selves. And then later on, he decides, okay, I'm just going to do it one more time.
Yeah. So this is Yora. He appeared in a Jessica Osborne Doctor adventure on my channel called Descent of the Doctor. He's now...
I thought it was Time Station.
No, he was in Descent of the Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
After Romana went back to Gallifrey. But that bit was set pre-Time War. This is Yora post-Time War. We discovered that once Romana was deposed as president and Rassilon was resurrected, he fled Gallifrey and has been living here in this hut ever since. And now the Doctor comes to him with a query on how to cross dimensions, because he he has knowledge of crossing things because he would have had to have escaped the time lock.
Yeah.
So he's the perfect person to go to find out how to cross dimensions.
Yeah. And honestly, I think I picked the perfect action figure for Yora. Just this sort of out of place, broken down old Time Lord.
It does work so well.
Yeah, and I just literally had the Luke. I literally just bought the Luke action figure at the time. I was like, I gotta use that somehow.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just perfect.
Yeah. So at this point, the two Doctors are having visions of each other. They're seeing their lives kind of intertwining in real time. They're sort of aware. Well, they're not. Well, I guess Jodie's Doctor is kind of figuring out that they both regenerated from Peter Capaldi's Doctor, but in different versions of the timeline. And and then this sequence
follows is a montage.
This sequence is what happens in between series 2 and 3, essentially. So I wrote in a bunch of random adventures. This was supposed to be a space race.
Yeah, and well, what we're about to see in a couple of minutes. This was really fun. This was kind of fun to do. I mean, it was a little tricky, obviously, but it was kind of fun to do. Just have the Doctor play with the Beatles.
Yes, that then leads into a matter of time.
The matter of time,
this is the prequel to A Matter of Time, where the Doctor gives the guitar to Root, and of course it was intended for the Beatles.
Yeah,
and then of course, A Matter of Time happens.
Obviously you can see we've got like a couple of clips from your episode of Matter of Time.
The Doctor and Root go on many adventures.
Yeah, well, tiny adventures, but at the same time, they're still making sure that they don't run away from the actual threat. Pretty much when we came up with the idea, you pretty much you were like, oh, this is perfect. Now we can actually fit them together.
This is a brand new sequence we did.
Brand new sequence, and
not originally intended for A Matter of Time.
No,
it's intended for this. And of course, at the end of A Matter of Time, we've got the reveal of the new TARDIS.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm pretty sure the original idea was that it was going to be the scene where he changes from the first console room into the second console room, which was the one in season 2. But then
it didn't really make sense continuity-wise.
Yeah.
Because by the time that your Doctor had the second console room, he met my Doctor the first time when he had the second console room, and this was supposed to be set after that. So eventually we decided to go for a new TARDIS for series 3. And the revealing of your new TARDIS it was the very last thing in my figure adventures forever, which is kind of fitting because of course now my main role in the DWFA community is writing for your series 3.
Yeah. You've now found your job role. Yeah. I think I should say one of the things I think I'm actually glad I added visual effects wise, it's the lighting on the console, like where we saw the lights going across on the panels as the engines are whirring. I think that was a nice touch, and we'll get more of that later in the episode.
So your Doctor has just discovered, he's just decided that, he's seen Root be sort of kidnapped by the Hyperion guards, and this is where he makes his first mistake in the series.
Yeah.
Because he decides he's not going to go after her and save her. He's not ready. He's not strong enough anymore. That's the way he feels because he's now human.
Yeah, he's not confident that he has what it takes to continue this tradition.
Hopefully we won't leave Root.
No. Hopefully he won't leave. I'm pretty sure he'll rescue her somewhere.
He'll come back later.
He'll come back.
It's fine. So yours very conflicted about helping the Doctor.
Yeah.
Because he's still kind of scarred by what he experienced in the Time War with...
Yeah, everything from the Time War has pretty much left a lot of people scarred.
I mean, we know from the Engines of War book that the Daleks started using interdimensional technology to bring over parallel universe versions of Daleks into their own fight, which was interesting to say the least. So I imagine he's still very scarred.
I love that show. I love a show. Just the flips it, and you see the actual flipping motion of the device.
It's very nice.
Yeah. Now I think we should really talk about this. I think I'm probably gonna get like a lot of people asking me, why didn't you use the Jodie Whittaker action figure? Reason being is, when we started this, there wasn't a figure released except for the doll one.
He's indicating the doll that's standing on my desk.
Yeah, I'm talking about the.
I love my cling film time rotor.
I'm talking. We only had the tall action figure of Jodie Whittaker. We didn't have like a proper action figure size. So, and funny enough, Sam already had a custom figure of Jodie at the time.
Yeah.
It was still a work in progress, but just because he did it, we were just like, we had to do it. And then by the time we were like halfway through the production, they released the action figure.
Yes.
And we were like, oh, well, we could continue this, but then again, it would be a huge continuity error. So,
yeah.
But I'm actually proud of this custom.
And of course, here's the main kind of multiverse connection in this story, which is the Veil. The Veil is a character, if you don't know, who first appeared in the Mega Doctor 1998's Adventures and was played by me, then appeared in Renegade Time Lord 2000's Adventures, and finally, in a matter of time, it was revealed that this character was created by the cracks in the universe that were created by my Doctor and Matt meeting for the first time in the multiverse theory, and that's why he looks like Matt and sounds like me.
Yeah. So yeah, we pretty much given birth to this character.
So I felt it was right that he met my Doctor and then that he met yours as well, and that was sort of the main. And then so Yora helped the Doctor reach the Veil's dimension, which sits in the middle of the multiverse, or between every dimension. We briefly saw my Doctor visit it in a matter of time when he was glimpsing sort of windows between different universes, and then. Jodie finds herself here now, and of course your Doctor finds herself here later. I think eventually every sort of main multiverse Doctor finds himself in this dimension at one point. It's almost like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
So I thought, it's about time.
It's about time he met our Doctors. Well, my Doctor specifically. So
yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the plans are for the Veil next.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, since you mentioned to me that which one is it? Who's doing it?
Who's doing what?
Mega Doctor.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Since you said someone has got plans for the Veil in the future, and I don't know if he's still doing Figure Avengers anymore. But if he's not,
he is. I think.
I think he is. He's just distracted with a lot of stuff. But but if he's not thinking of any plans for the Veil, I think it would be a good idea to bring the Veil back one last time for at least my Doctor or anyone's Doctor.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So the underwater base, it replaced an idea in the original script, which was going to be a Christmas special for a town where it was always Christmas. But then again, that's also what happened in Time with the Doctor. And that episode was also going to introduce the new companion for Series 3, who is now going to be introduced in episode 2 of the new series.
I should say I'm actually glad we didn't make a Christmas special. We just made it its own adventure. And oh boy, the mustache and beard, me.
It was I loved being able to use the 30th Doctor so early into her life and bring her into the universe in this way. I feel like we're not going to see an awful lot of Jodie Whittaker figure adventures.
No. I mean, seeing the action figure, the amount of action figures going on, it looks like they're dropping down. So
yeah, it's a shame, really. But there are still a lot of people who put so much love and care into these, though, and I think that will continue still for quite some time.
Yeah. But
we might not. I think
I feel like we're only gonna get like shorter videos, sort of spoof videos with the figures, just not like big grand adventures.
I guess we'll see. It could suddenly come back.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll see how the show itself is going.
Maybe the Graham figure will revitalize figure adventures.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, this is
okay. Now
this was a kind of interesting detail. I wanted to detach the Doctor from one of the things that we recognise as the very essence of the character, and so I made him fix the TARDIS chameleon circuits. I wanted something very, something very familiar to us to be completely altered, to kind of separate us from the character temporarily and sort of make us think, okay, maybe he has kind of lost it. So he repairs the comedian circuit, but he still does disguise it as the gates to Totter's Lane, which are, of course, something cemented in his past, and that's sort of what Jodie latches onto and thinks there must be something still inside of him that is the Doctor.
Yeah, actually, fun fact, the original title was called Miracle on 76 Trotter's Lane.
Yes.
So...
when it was a Christmas special.
That's why we've got Totter's Lane in it. But actually, I think it's kind of nice that the actual junkyard is now the actual TARDIS.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love this console room. I said in the earlier commentary that I do miss the first one, but I really do love this console room. And it's not grand. It's not trying to be extreme or it's just it's like going back to the classic here, where it's just a simple long room with a console in the middle and just features scattered across parts of the room.
Yeah, I figured if the Doctor if the Doctor's identity is very different now, he wants somewhere that he feels comfortable in. He wants somewhere that he can call home.
Exactly.
Somewhere that feels like a safe space, basically. And that's sort of what led me in designing the new TARDIS. Yeah. And of course, now it's all kicking off.
Now it's all kicking off. And
so this is a classic monster that I have wanted to use forever, but the right time never came along. And I figured it's an underwater base. I'm doing the Vord.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vord in this are very different to what we saw in the classic series. The idea, if we're playing with different dimensions here, I thought the Vord can be as different as I want them to be. They're made of Silurian figures, obviously.
Yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to have the Vord with here was they are beings from around the universe. They're assimilated into the Vord hive mind, which is the hive as it shows up later. And so I thought,
my Doctor kicks ass.
So yes, that's something else to completely separate you from the character. Yeah. But the one important detail about the Vord to me was still being able to see the eyes. It's sort of like their armor is alive. It's kind of wrapped themselves around the creatures, but you can still get a glimpse of what they once were underneath, instead of just have it. So yes, they are very different in this universe. And they can do that. I'm literally trying. Oh yeah. In the script, it said it uses like sort of sound vibration waves to sort of boost, sort of push them far away. I did not know how to do that, so I went with the easiest thing, just get like a sonic blast. I love this effect where they kind of poof into nothing.
Yeah, they disapparate. I kind of got that idea from the Death Eaters in Harry Potter, and I wanted to include it on some sort of creature. I thought, this is probably the best way of doing it. And this was, I should say, the entirety of the water-based scenes, and I mean all of the scenes. It took like months to film, because literally every single morning or every single day when someone comes into the room, they would see this set. And I mean, in any part of the set is on the table, and I'm just looking down. I'm like, for God's sake, please! I want it to end. I mean, it wasn't like when I did the Jules scene in Arthur and the Wizard Doctor with the ring, because I enjoyed filming it. Whilst this one, I was like, well, I'm enjoying it, but it's taking forever to do.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. When I write scripts, when I write scripts for other people, specifically when I write scripts for you, when I write scripts for myself, I'm thinking a lot more about my own limitations. But one of the things I noticed about your work is you have some very creative ways of coming around large problems and doing things that are of a massive scale in a small way and making them work. So I thought, I'll think about it in what would make the story the most exciting, as opposed to the limitations we have, because I know that you'll always be able to find some way of doing it and doing it brilliantly.
yeah, we finally get the Doctors talking. I mean, yeah, we had a little hint of it in the TARDIS, but no, this is pretty much when the Doctors are actually talking, sort of comparing each other a little bit.
Yeah.
Right after a chaos has happened. Now, originally, I was originally trying to release this as a full video, but I actually ended up splitting into 2 videos because I didn't have enough time. Now, this point was where I wanted part 1 to end.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, and I wanted it to be released on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. But by the time it was getting close to New Year's Eve, the only scenes that were done fully were the first couple of scenes, and I didn't have the majority of the 4 scenes complete or animate or edited at the time.
Yeah.
So I had to release what I already did at the time.
Yeah. I still think it works really well.
Yeah.
Having
I mean, from where part 1 left off, when we see the reveal of the changed Doctor,
yeah,
it works. It keeps the audience or the viewers guessing what happens.
Yeah, I think it works quite well because part 1 is more centered more around Jodie, and part 2 is centered more around your Doctor.
Yeah. That's also why I wanted to do as well, because one of the things I didn't want this episode to be, I didn't want this to be my Doctor's adventure featuring Jodie Whittaker. I wanted it to be both the Doctor's stories.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want Jodie to be the companion. I also didn't want my Doctor to be the companion. I wanted both of them to be the lead. And I thought having part 1 centered around Jodie and part 2 centered around my Doctor, and then in the end they all intertwine.
Yeah.
It works.
I think they bounce off each other really well. I felt that while I was writing it as well.
Yeah, literally when we were basically coming up with lines, or pretty much you were writing through it, I was sending out voice work. With by the way,
that's a beautiful animation shot right there. Where it's panning away from the console.
Yeah. At this point, because I had an action figure of where I can pretty much sort of adjust the head rather than just do the usual turn. And I had like a really good set. I really wanted to experiment on different angles or different angle shots, and I thought, what better way to do it than just to do that?
Yeah.
But anyway, Kathy Greenhall voices Jodie's Doctor in this one. But anyway, basically when we were making this episode, we were basically guessing what type of Doctor we were gonna get, and then when we actually got it, we were close to what Jodie's Doctor actually was.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, there's a line where my Doctor says, "Are you always this happy?" And looking back, I was like, that's literally what Jodie was like in the series. She was always happy.
I love how Jodie can go from being like in a moment from being very serious to rambling about how much she loves wellies.
Yes.
That versatility is amazing.
And here we go. The forward base, and kind of similar to when we were doing the corridors and Phantom of the TARDIS. I wanted to sort of play with the angles of the corridors as well as the lighting quality.
Yeah.
That's you getting back in swing of things.
Yeah. Looking back, maybe I should say when I was looking for voice actors at the time to basically voice Yora, the Ford, and Jodie, a lot of people would play back saying they wanted to voice Yora or the Ford, or in this case the Hive, which we find out later in the episode, the Hive. And so many people wanted to voice the villains, and yet no one wanted to voice Jodie.
I think the thing with Jodie and the thing with Peter Capaldi as well is, I mean, when it was Matt Smith's Doctor and everyone was making Figure Adventures, he just had a kind of standard English accent, so no one really cared what he looked like beyond that. But when Capaldi came around, suddenly everyone wanted like a perfect impersonation of him because his voice is so specific, and I think Jodie's is the same. I mean, there's not a lot of female talent within the FA community as it is, which is a shame.
It's a real shame.
I mean, there never has been a lot, but there certainly used to be more than there is now.
Yeah, but thankfully, I then started to share this call out on a free casting agency I have joined, Star now, which was pretty much how I got Juliet Road to voice Romana in season 2.
Yeah.
So I did the same thing, and I asked, I'm looking for someone to voice these characters. I'm also looking for someone to do a decent impression of Jodie Whittaker.
Because you found Stephen Hannafy on Star Now, didn't you? And I unknowingly also found him on Star Now for a university project, and I was in Bournemouth, you were in Cardiff, and we had no idea that we were both working with the same person on different projects, and I was involved in both.
And thankfully, I had a very good, decent amount of female actresses interested in doing the voice of Jodie, and so far only 2, maybe 3 people sent their audio files of the voice recordings, and the closest I think was Kathy. And well, I'll get into this later on in this commentary, but Kathy I think was the closest to a decent voiceover of Jodie. It's not perfect. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're still getting to grips with Jodie's Doctor at the moment. I'm pretty sure in time we're going to get impressionists of Jodie Whittaker soon.
I think considering she picked up the character, probably having never played it before, and delivered her so convincingly is actually amazing.
Yeah. I think I should say at this point, this is pretty much the first time in my era of Doctor Who where I haven't used any music from Murray Gold.
Oh, you haven't used anything from Murray Gold?
No, apart from the Jodie's theme from season 11, I haven't used any music from Doctor Who. Mostly because YouTube's pretty much changing its rules at the moment, and I thought I might as well start using copyright free music, and the only person who does this or does the music who popped up into my head was Kevin McLeod, and he does the sort of free music. And
well, I've actually got a tip for you on there: video game soundtracks. They're brilliant because video game companies want.
I should say mostly my Doctor's theme is actually a music from a video game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's from
one?
Harry Potter.
Oh, right. But yeah, video game soundtracks, because game companies want you to be able to play them on YouTube for advertising, but the soundtracks aren't copyrighted, so it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, most of my Doctor's music was from Portal 2.
It was from Portal, basically, this was pretty much a sort of experiment to see whether I can use proper music, like other music that are not from Doctor Who, and see if it could work in the story. And I think it really works.
Yeah, I think it gives it a very distinct feel to the rest of the series.
Yeah. I should say I am not the right person to pick for music, because even when I'm making my own projects, I don't know what music I want.
Oh, yeah.
But I know what atmosphere and mood and feeling I want from the music. I don't know how I want the music to go.
Yeah, I struggle with music sometimes.
Yeah, and just by the fact that I pretty much just took what random music I could find that could suit any scene, and it turns out actually better than I thought, it's a miracle. It's literally a miracle.
I don't think we ever replaced the Sonic.
No. I mean, in the script you said the Hive or the Ford pretty much just get like this sort of time they sort of stitch the screwdriver together. Yeah. I didn't want to include that.
Yeah, I think looking back, it would have been a bit strange to have the Doctor then use a sonic screwdriver that's created by one of the villains for the entire series. I think we'll probably have to find a way to introduce a new Sonic, or just have him go Sonicless.
Yeah. I'm sort of thinking just to have him Sonicless.
I think that might be interesting.
Try and see if this Doctor can really pretty much save the day without the Sonic Ex Machina.
I think that might be okay. That's a challenge. Let's do that.
But that's what we want when you're developing a series. You want to challenge yourself.
Series 3 is in early development right now, if you can't tell.
Yeah. Now, I think we should really talk about the Hive, or pretty much the main thread of this episode. Well, we pretty much talked about a lot with music and Jodie.
Yes.
And that. I think we should talk about the Hive.
Yeah.
If there's anything we can think about.
So the Hive. Yeah, the Hive in my head was kind of a voice that was given to every mind within the Vord Empire. So they're from different species and planets. So it's sort of got all these different voices inside its own head, basically whenever the Vord meet a new species, they can approximate to what they think would like to whatever voice they think would work best for that species based on similar species they've encountered. The Hive is it's essentially I wanted the Vord to seem very different. I didn't want to give them a Vord leader. I mean, there are the Vords with the red kind of tabards, which are, I guess, squad captains. But in terms of having an overall leader of the Vord, I thought I'll try something interesting and give them all, like, give every Vord a voice and have. They're very much work from one mind, which I thought is kind of frightening.
Yeah, and okay, I know I said earlier when I sent out the casting call for the voices, and I mentioned a lot of people wanted to voice the Hive. And yet no one sent any recordings.
Oh, really?
No, not even the people who on Twitter said, "Can I do the Hive?" Yes. Yeah. Can I voice the Hive? Yes. I sent them the scripts. Nothing.
I always like to do voices like this myself, that I have a very clear idea in my head for.
Yeah. So I pretty much took over the voice of the Hive, and I managed to distort it. And one of the things I wanted to sort of give a little hint at, sort of like a little hint of 4, 5, 6 from Torchwood. Yes. And literally there are some points in the voiceover where there's like little hints of how the 4, 5, 6 normally talk.
Yeah.
That.
So this is the
like
point.
That, like that.
Yeah.
Like there.
This is the point where the Doctor just confessed to Jodie about no longer being a Time Lord, and we get this moment of vulnerability where we see that he didn't want to tell her because he saw her and saw that she was very much into being the Doctor, and he felt kind of embarrassed about having shied away from it. And then this is the point where we have one of the twistiest twists, and the Doctor is kind of
powerless,
mortified.
This is such a very cool moment. Even you say, "Cut, Doctor," and the music, I'm so glad I managed to edit the music at that exact point.
Yeah. I miss moments in Doctor Who where it looks like there's something has happened to the Doctor that is completely irreversible.
Yeah.
I mean, even in things like Under the Lake, where we see the ghost Doctor, so we think the Doctor's died.
Yeah.
But even then, we're also seeing the still alive Doctor alongside that, and we think, oh no, we can still see him, so he's definitely going to get out of this. From this point, the Doctor is inducted into the Vord, and there is no way out. And I really miss those moments in Who. I think we've been lacking them in recent years, where it looks like we're at a dead end. So now, of course,
Jodie goes for help.
Yes.
From the only person, well, at this point, who would know what's going on, what's going to happen.
So Jodie returns to the Vale, basically asking for help. Yeah. And this is a moment where sort of Jodie gets a moment of, where Jodie also gets a moment where, well, she gets her own moment of clarity before your Doctor gets his own moment of clarity. Sort of, she gets the moment of clarity where she's gone to the Vale and said, "Make him the Doctor again," and he basically says, "I can't make someone the Doctor. The Doctor is who they are through their actions, so only they can do that." Yeah.
Which in a way that's pretty much what we want with pretty much the same when we get like a new Doctor. We don't want to say, "Oh yeah, this is the Doctor." We want to see what they bring.
Yes.
To the character of the Doctor.
There we go. They've just had that moment. So, and now this is the point where we deviate into one of the most random threads in the plot. I do have some things to say about this. So,
what?
So the Vale.
Oh wait a minute. I think I know what you're talking about. But
so yes, the Vale says, maybe
Yeah.
there's not nothing I can do, and then he brings in a whole load of doctors.
Yeah. Now, I think, yeah, we might as well just say, because we're getting there now. The original script had alternate versions of my doctors.
Yes.
And, well, as obviously as you can see there, from this onwards, it's the old doctors.
Yes. It would have been very difficult, I think, to bring in many different versions of your doctor.
Yeah, because the only doctors of my doctor we had is, the James Lester one, the new outfit which he wears in the ending of this episode, and the one he's got now,
the blue coat one.
Yeah, the blue coats. Yeah, and
so I think we're basically saying that these are different incarnations of the Doctor that have come across from different dimensions.
Yeah, and another reason why I think. I mean, it could have worked, but I don't think it would have worked. It's because, not only I would have to try and make multiple versions of the same figure, but I think people would be sort of thinking, oh, what's this Doctor's story? What's this Doctor's story? And also I wasn't quite sure whether or not this would be the last figure adventure I would have to do.
Yeah.
Personal problems mostly. So I thought, this could be my last chance to work with any of the classic Doctors in one episode.
But yes,
and I wanted to make sure every Doctor has that as a moment.
We're doing one last summon all the Doctors to one place.
Yeah.
Before the end.
Before the end. It might not be the end, but I think at this point it might as well be the last full on Doctor gathering.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Series 3 is going to be very much about your Doctor and his final journey.
It'll mostly centre around my Doctor rather than getting like other Doctors or other people from classic show series back.
Yeah.
Will revolve while you die here. Yeah. Now there was like a couple of alternate ways I said that line. It's like when you die screaming, when you die screaming, or when you die screaming, and none. And at the time, I had a sore throat at the time, and I think if the voice did like a shouting voice, it would sort of break the character a little.
Yeah, I think so.
So I basically went with the safest one. And here we go.
So here's in Jodie's TARDIS. I love. Oh, it looks so good in that lighting.
Yeah.
I
agree. I mean, yeah, as I mentioned before, I wanted to experiment on camera animation as well as lighting, and luckily we picked the right episode to do so.
Yeah. So back in the Veil's dimension. Your Doctor's about to get his moment of clarity.
Yeah, clarity. Now, I should say there's a massive difference between the set of the Void. Now, in the earlier scenes, it was filmed on like a piece of paper down at your house.
Yeah.
And those scenes were they were very bright, they were colourful. I managed to add an effect. And then all of a sudden you've got this obvious cloth wall. Yeah, you will notice later on when the TARDIS materialized, there's a massive difference between these scenes of the Void and and the scenes from your Void.
So this is where it's kind of revealed to your Doctor that
this was when we really started to answer questions like how does pretty much every appearance of my Doctor or the Multiverse Doctors really come together.
Yeah.
And later on, we're gonna get the answer that some people were asking me at the time: how did Capaldi regenerate into my Doctor?
Yes,
and we luckily we both came up with how to fit it in with not only with the multiverse but also with pretty much how the show went with Capaldi's regeneration.
We get the explanation here that essentially. The Veil sort of diverts the timeline at the point, sort of at the beginning of Twice Upon a Time, the end of the Doctor Falls, so that these two Doctors would exist. So he creates these two timelines so that they would be able to save each other.
There you go, the tidal wave.
Yes, the tidal wave then splits the timeline, and then these two, so that these two will eventually find their way here and save each other. And so it ends up that basically the Veil ends up creating the universe in which my Figure Adventures and also Tom's takes place.
Yeah. Now I should say at this point, the scene with Capote pretty much he gets knocked out by the guitar. Ironic. This was originally supposed to be the prologue of this episode, but I found it very hard to sort of, in the editing process, to sort of get from this scene to the beginning that we actually get.
It does work a lot better here, I think.
It works here. Even though there was like a scene, or this was basically it was originally a recreation of World Enough and the Doctor Falls.
Yes.
He has a baby. He goes, no, I can't keep being somebody else. It was literally that moment, and then all of a sudden the TARDIS, crashes down, and then we go back to pretty much when season 1 began.
Yes.
And okay, I think I should say at this point, because we're about to get Jodie's very nice speech, nicely written, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this is because I was literally listening to this after I saw series 11, and I was literally listening to it, I think to myself, this should be a speech given to the people who don't like Jodie's Doctor.
Huh.
And anyway, basically, now Kathy did the voice of Jodie throughout the entire episode. However, someone called Autumn Evans did the recording of the speech.
All right.
As you can hear right there, there's a slight difference in voice, and that's because it's a different actress. Now I should say I forgot to comment Autumn Evans doing the voice in this scene. I did not know how to do it, but Autumn, if you're watching this video and if you've heard this recording, I do apologize, but seriously, you did really good. This speech was well done, and the reason I had to bring Autumn's recording of the speech was because Kathy forgot to record those lines.
Oh.
Literally, I was going over the recordings, and then I realized she didn't do the speech. That's like the best bit. And then I literally just looked at all the other recordings that other people did of the speech, and Autumn's managed to do the entire speech. And I was listening to it, and I was like, this is beautiful.
Oh, I see.
Kind of makes me making me regret I should have casted Autumn, but no, Kathy did a good job. You both did a good job, and I'm very grateful that you got involved.
2 people got the part. It's great.
Yeah, 2 people got the part. So I just thought I should point that out in case some of you are asking, wait, why did the voice change?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very nice moment where these 2 doctors sort of wish each other luck.
Yes. And this is where we set up the arc for Series 3, which is going to be the Doctor's bucket list. So the Veil suggests to the Doctor that if he wants to rediscover what it means to be the Doctor again, he should write a list of everything he's always wanted to do, the things that would bring him the most joy, and to go and do them. And then, so that's where...
do them while you still can.
And so he's basically trying to move on from the fact that he can die, that if he ever does die, it will be the end, that he can be hurt a lot easier than he used to be, because now he's a human, he can't heal in the same way, and he certainly can't regenerate. And of course here we've got that iconic line, because he's kind of remembering what it means to be the Doctor.
Yeah, and it's also a nice little throwback. It's a nice little throwback to John Hurt in Moment of the Doctor. I just realised.
Oh yeah, and also a nice tribute to John Hurt.
Yeah. And yeah, this was quite. I mean, funny enough, the music actually came first when I was editing the scene. I mean, I did all the filming, and you'll have all the shots. Obviously, you can tell it's a Photoshop cut out of the suit. But basically, the music, pretty much like with most of the scenes I've done, the music came first, just to get the timing of each scene right. And then when I bring the animation in, I would pretty much try and time it together with the flow of the time, or the tempo, or the timing of the music.
Yeah.
And in this music, I think it kind of works, because it's not glorious. It's not the theme. It's not glorious. It's not adventurous. It's just a simple laid back music, and I kind of wanted to give that sort of feeling that, you know, it's not the ending. It's not the beginning. It's just a simple moment.
Yeah.
And okay, funny enough.
Shaving off the beard.
Shaving off the beard. Now, funny enough, I actually did a recording of myself shaving my own beard and mustache.
Oh.
I literally got a phone, I literally got a camera, and I literally filmed myself shaving.
And here's the new outfit.
There's a new outfit and a new look. I might need to sort out the mustache and beard. I might need to sort it out. We might need to sort it out a little bit for the series. I mean, it's fine. It just looks kind of odd. But basically, when I was doing the editing of shaving myself, the quality and the close-up didn't work, and also you can see my dressing gown I wore, so I decided to take it out.
So, and then on we go.
Here we go. One last ride.
The bucket list is being written.
It's about to begin, and also one of the things I wanted to give with this ending is whether or not this is the last figure adventure I ever do. You know, in case I have to move on, or in case something goes wrong on YouTube or something like that, you know, at least I wanted to sort of end this episode on a happier note.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to how they ended the Sarah Jane Adventures. They weren't ending it exactly the way they wanted it, but they ended it on a happier note.
Yeah. This could very easily be the end.
Yeah.
But no, we will have more.
Yeah,
for you
we will have more
in the
coming.
coming
We
months.
we will make sure of it. So there you go. That's our commentary on the Great Spirit of Adventure. Thoughts?
This is the one that I've written for you that I'm the most proud of so far. I think I had a lot of fun writing this. Out of everything, this is the one that I was the most proud of, in terms of how the story progressed and sort of where we could possibly go from here. I think I'm very excited to start on series 3.
I agree with what you just said there. And for me personally, whether or not this is the the ending of the Who editor's Doctor, I think it's a very proud and good moment to sort of end. Whether or not this is the end, it's a good light happier moment to sort of end, and particularly as a character and story builder and character moment for this Doctor's story and where it could go. Mm-hmm. So there you go. That was the commentary for Great Spirit of Adventure, and thus is the last commentary of the series. So if you'd like us to do more of these commentaries, leave a comment below, or if there's anything else you want me or maybe Sam to do in the future, then don't be afraid to let us know in the comments. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me in this commentary series. Thank you, Sam, for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.